And you're from Ronnie Olson, Shady Spring Tigers. Obviously, Ronnie, I know when you beat Woodrow, it's a good evening, and you really never allowed him to get in the game. It was kind of like the other day, a lot of threes dropping for you guys, and obviously the defense is always, you never really allowed him to be in the game.
Yeah, I think we dictated from the beginning, offensively we looked really good. In the half court, it's not so much, but in transition and breaking people down, we did, and we shot, great tonight. Our goal was not to let one guy beat us. He had a ton of points. He's one of, I say this about, same thing. Redfern's one of the best players in the state, but, we can let him have his points as long as we come out with the win, and that was kind of the way that we approached the game.
We had 19 at the half, and
Yeah.
he had 23, so, I mean, you were going to let him get it. That was the plan, let him get his points and just stop everybody else?
No, we just didn't think that he could beat us by himself, so we thought that, we just allow him to just do what he does, and I think it'd take care of itself.
Braden against Parkersburg the other night, really hot. Same thing tonight. Why do you think he's heating up the way he is from three?
Confidence.
He had 8 tonight.
Confidence, because he's played that way. He shot that way last season. And, he shot that way into a state championship game for us. He was that guy. He made some huge shots versus Wheeling in a state championship game, and that's what we've talked about, man. We need you to get back to that. He puts way too much work in, extra work outside of practice to shoot in a slump he has. He's been in a big slump.
I was going to ask you about that. I don't think you would ever get overly concerned with Braden Chapman because of the way their work ethic.
Yeah.
But was there a little bit of concern? Why did you do a lot of work to get him out of that?
His dad and his brother, they just get in extra shots, and they just do it. And it's all about building his confidence up. We set sets for him. Amar and Cole been steady. And Braden's been, he's been on a tear on the boards and going to the rim, but the one thing's been lacking is his outside shot. Now you get that going, we're tough to stop.
Is he a street shooter like that?
No, he's not. I think if you look at his form, he has some of the best pure form you will find. I don't know, backspin, jumping back, just little things for a good shooter like that, rushing it. Now I can tell when it leaves his hand when it's going to go in. It's just he has a little more lift off of it, and he's not shooting when he comes down. And when he gets going, man, and we see it in practice. That's the thing. We see it in practice. He'll go for 6, 7 straight, and before you know it, the team's down 15.
I was going over some stuff the other day, and I found some. When you were hired, your first sentence, I think, in the paper was talking about defense. Mm-hmm. Do you see a lot of, not necessarily the same, but it was a comment was made tonight. They play the defense the way Woodrow used to play. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, Woodrow was known for their defense and intensity, their tenacity. That's some of the things that I played at Woodrow. That was some of the things that I wanted to instill as well, with a little bit of my own mix. We play a little bit different man to man than they do, but overall, you look at any good team in college or anything, they're a really good defensive team, and they were tough like that. Charges, that's what won them a lot of state championships. Barksdale led them to a lot of state titles with hard work. I was there. I saw it firsthand. Anybody from the area saw that they were fun to watch.
A lot of people probably forgot that you did start at Woodrow. So is anything you do, I think you told me at the beginning of the year, you took parts of your defense from a lot of people. Barksdale was one of them. Mm-hmm. So does this win mean a little bit more that you were able to beat them? And it's been one of your old coaches. I know it's always important to beat Indy too, especially when Chad was there. Yeah. But is this game a little more important in that respect?
I don't hide from anything. I'm an honest person up front. Yeah, it does mean a little bit more to me personally. It means a little more to our kids, and it's not so much as about the coaching or the program as it is, Barksdale I have ultimate respect for. He showed me a lot. He's a great, fierce competitor, Coach Kidd as well. But we talked about it. We want to be that program, and you can rewind all the things that I say, but this is so important for us to maintain, the staying power of having one of the best programs in the state. We don't want to be a 1-2 hit wonder, and what Woodrow wasn't like that. They were a power for how many 16 state championships, 12. I don't whatever it is. It's
16,
a crazy number. We want to bring a bunch back here as well.
So it's safe to say you're shooting for what they had, and you're getting there.
Absolutely. I think one state championship is great, but it's not even close to the surface of what we want to accomplish. Me personally, for my program, when I leave, I want to have multiple state championships. These guys as well. So, you know, you're only as good as your top leadership, and I feel that instilling, you know, toughness and the winning tradition and feeling that nobody's better than you, even if you face a better team, is important to me. And those guys play for each other, and they play with a purpose, and that's to be great. And I know it sounds cliche, but to be great, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of sacrifice. Everybody can't do it, and these guys do it all the time, and they leave with bruises, and they leave with scuff marks, and they get tired, and they fuss at each other, but they love each other. And to have that, you know, where Woodrow was to our program, and people speak the same breath as us, wanting to be, you know, carbon copy our program is kind of surreal right now for us.
What was one thing that scared you coming into this game?
Redfern. I knew he had the capability to really break our defense down. He did a good job. I thought we weared on him. We put a lot of guys on him. You know, even in the NBA, it's tough if you're throwing a bunch of guys at a different player to get wore down. He's a college player. He's a great player. We just felt like if he would break us down and break us down, then, you know, the other guys could step up. But I thought he got a lot, but I felt like we also forced him into some tough shots and led us out to easy transition buckets, and that kind of pushed the game open.
You think, did you envision this day when people would talk about Shady Spring the same way they used to talk about Woodrow?
Absolutely.
And not that they're done. I mean, they could come back and start another run, you know. But you're now kind of the big dog in the town.
We're not concerned about Woodrow. We're concerned about Shady. You know, to be saying in the same breath as how they used to be is great. But you know, where our program is, where my coaching staff and our players are, it's outstanding. And you know, what's awesome is we're right there. You know, we have a lot left to do. We got great groups coming for years, great groups coming in. So you know, we still got a lot left to do.
I think that Braden Chapman has proven over the course of his career that he's probably can be mentioned in that breath as one of the better players in the state. Do you think that he's rounded into that form and he's up there right now, the way he's shooting?
Absolutely. Braden probably could have averaged, and I say this, he could average 30 if he wanted to. He is such an unselfish player, and I say this, any college player watches him, he could get it when he wants it. Cole's the same way. So Braden's just kind of being Braden, and now that his shot's falling, that's what's really making the points pour on. Like we had those big spouts last year.
And for what his scoring is worth, and you have to outscore people to win basketball games. But his passing, would you say his passing and his defense are what separates him? Because you know he can score. Is that what separates him and maybe elevates him to the first team All-State player he is?
I mean, I don't know another player that plays all around basketball as hard as he does and well-rounded. I mean, and maybe, you know, obviously I'm biased. Cole's the same way, but you brought up Braden. I don't know another player. You know, I know McNeely's good. I know some of those other guys are good. Morgantown, but the way he rebounds, the way he defends, the way he passes, the way he scores. Cole's the same way. He defends the hardest player every day. I mean, you know, those two are first-team All-Staters. You know.
Ronnie, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.